fans of the NBA want a front row seat to be here tonight with some guy named LeBron.
These plays by guys drafted in the 2003 NBA draft were just unreal. The 2003 NBA draft class is often labeled as the best class of all time. And while there might be some debate, you can't possibly deny the talent that came out of that year. And with that talent came a ridiculous amount of iconic and incredible plays. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at 15 of the best plays from guys who were drafted in 2003. Number 15, LeBron James and his ridiculous pass. We're going to start out with a moment that will live on forever. With LeBron still playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers, his team was playing against the Los Angeles Lakers. James had the ball at the top of the key and was looking to his left to try and get it to his teammate. Instead of waiting a little longer, he extended his hand and flicked a no-look pass all the way to another teammate standing on the baseline. It all looked so effortless and became such an iconic play. Number 14, Dwayne Wade and the spin. The Miami Heat were up against the Washington Wizards here, and it was early in the second quarter with Wade holding the ball. He went around a screen and saw another defender flying at him, so he hit him with a behind-the-back dribble, splitting in between the defender and the screen. The move broke him free into the paint, and then he ran into the center who was standing in his way and absorbed the contact into a spin move layup that went in over his head. The spin move is used a little more frequently nowadays, but back then it was otherworldly. Number 13, Carmelo Anthony's game winner. The New York Knicks were taking on the Memphis Grizzlies, and the game was tied at 108. There were only a few seconds left in regulation. Melo got the ball for the final offensive possession. The play looked like a classic Melo isolation. He was in the mid-range and had a few different jabs and pump fakes before committing to the jump shot with little time left on the clock. He moved swiftly when he decided to shoot, and he was able to knock it down to give his team a 2-point lead with just 0.5 seconds left on the clock. And as expected, they won that game because of it. Number 12, LeBron James' big dunk. Not too long ago, we were seeing the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals consistently. This play came from one of those series. James was defending Steph Curry when he knocked the ball up into the air. He bumped Curry while running for it and fell down, but did obtain possession. While he was getting back up, he sent a pass to a wide-open Kyrie Irving who was sprinting out in front of him. Then he quickly bolted into the play again and slammed home an alley-oop that got tossed right over the head of Curry. The play just about brought the roof down. Number 11, Wade's huge defensive stop. The Heat and the Boston Celtics were in a tie game with 5 seconds left on the clock. Boston had possession of the ball and inbounded it pretty smoothly. Well, at least they thought they did. The guy who caught the pass was suddenly hounded by Wade's aggressiveness with the game on the line. He didn't want to allow him to get a clean shot off before the clock hit 0, but then out of nowhere, the ball popped loose and Wade sprinted down court for a dunk with 0.6 seconds left, sealing the game for the Heat when everybody thought that Boston was going to get the final shot. At worst, Celtics fans at least thought they were going to go into overtime. Number 10, Melo's dunk. Sadly, we don't get to see Melo throw it down anymore like he used to back in his Denver Nuggets days. This play came from that era with the Nuggets up against the San Antonio Spurs. Melo caught his defender slipping during a play and burst towards the rim. He had a few defenders surrounding him, so he pulled the ball down for a second before circling it all the way back up for a vicious slam. Afterwards, you could see 4 Spurs defenders just standing there kind of confused at what had just happened. Number 9, James in the NBA Finals. This one's not going to be the NBA Finals you're thinking of. This one came back when James was on the Miami Heat. The team was against the Spurs and it was Game 2 here. San Antonio had won the first game, but they were down by 20 points in this matchup. A beautiful play started to unfold for the Spurs on offense, and it all seemed like they were about to get an easy dunk. But then James chose to rise up with the guy and swat the ball away with ferocity. Number 8, Wade's ridiculous swat and score. There were only a few seconds left in the third quarter between the Heat and the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix ran a play to get the ball into their center's hands after a pick and roll. As he rose up to take the floater, Wade flew into frame and swatted it away, and then he was able to grab the ball and immediately chuck up a shot from 3/4 court. As time expired, the shot swished in and extended his team's lead. Number 7. Anthony's welcome to the new season moment. In one of the first games of the 2009 season, Anthony had a play that no one will soon forget. The Nuggets were winning by 8 with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The other team had possession of the ball after a Denver miss and tried to give it to their point guard. Melo, though, didn't leave that end of the court and flew in to steal the pass. That wasn't enough, though. He sprinted at the rack and slammed a massive dunk down right on the guy who turned the ball over. The poor dude had the worst possession of his lifetime right there. Though this guy probably wasn't subscribed to our channel, so if you want to avoid having a nightmare of a possession like him, make sure you slam that subscribe button before we continue on to the next one. Number 6. LeBron's game winner against Toronto. We all remember the days when James dominated the Toronto Raptors while playing for the Cavs, and this was from one of those playoff series. The Cavs had a 2-0 series lead and the game was tied up at 103 here. James got the ball with a few seconds left and sprinted down the floor. He never drove into the paint, but instead just ran a straight line down the left side of the floor. It resulted in him throwing up a one-handed layup with his right hand while continuing his run. The shot banked off the backboard and went in while time expired, and the Cleveland fans just went crazy. Number 5. Wade going behind his opponent's back. Here, Wade has possession of the ball, and a defender tries to set up for a screen in front of him to block him off. He was close to the sideline, but instead of falling out of bounds, he bounced the ball behind the back of his defender and simply ran around him with ease. Then, right afterwards, he threw a beautiful alley-oop that got thrown down. To add insult to injury, the Heat were already winning at this point by about 30 points. Number 4. Carmelo hitting not one, but 2 clutch shots. The Knicks were playing the Chicago Bulls in this one. Melo had the ball with his team down by 3 points and there were only about 20 seconds left. He didn't wait for an open look though. Instead, he took a heavily contested three-pointer and got it to fall. That tied the game up and sent it into overtime. Now, fast forward a little bit, and the Bulls were up by 2 points in overtime. With 10 seconds left, Melo attempted another tough three-pointer and knocked that one down too, taking the lead for good this time and winning the game. Number 3. Wade dunking on Cleveland. During an offensive possession late in the first quarter, Wade saw an open lane, and man did he take it. Unfortunately for the center on the Cavaliers, he got left in a one-on-one situation with an incredibly athletic guard. Wade detonated when he got into the paint and made an unbelievable poster dunk on the dude. The defender was posterized so bad that he flew onto the ground and up against the stanchion that's holding the net up. Number 2. LeBron ruining Jason Terry. The Heat were playing the Celtics here, and I believe it was Wade who was the one who stripped the ball to kickstart this entire play. Wade flipped it to a teammate behind him who then passed it forward, sending Terry in a constant back and forth. Then that third guy tossed it up into the air for a sprinting LeBron to come flying in and posterize Jason Terry onto the ground. Number 1. The most iconic block of all time. LeBron and the Cavs were facing the Warriors in the NBA Finals. Of course, every point mattered at this stage in the game and the series, and nobody was going to give away free points. Andre Iguodala figured this out the hard way when he found himself on a fast break down the floor. Instead of passing it, he rose up to try and hit a layup for his team, but unfortunately for him, LeBron flew in out of nowhere and swatted the ball hard off the backboard. Shortly after this play came the infamous "blocked by James" quote.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup, oh, blocked by James!
Hey, that does it for the 15 most iconic and incredible plays from players in the 2003 NBA draft class. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click on the top 9 times Jordan Clarkson shocked the world.